where you can see. All right, so the first thing you guys are doing, you pick up the Claymore from over there, and you're gonna inventory it. So you're pretty much just laying it out like this, making sure the spool is good, like how you want it, making sure most of the plugs are on the Claymore, making sure like nothing's fucked up. You know what I mean? Okay. So anyways, so once you do that, you put everything back in the bag. Whenever it's how you like it or how you want to run the lane and test out and all that good stuff. All right, once you do that, you're gonna bring your Claymore over here. So once you get over here, we're gonna read you your test condition standards and all that fun stuff. And then, so the first thing you're doing, the first step it says is to inventory your bag. So all you're doing is looking in there, feeling it. You can do whatever, just make sure everything's good. All right, second thing you're gonna do, close the bandolier. You're gonna observe your lane. So all you're doing is looking down, seeing where you're gonna low crawl, or you're seeing where you're gonna move down. My bad. You don't do the low crawl anymore. You can thank us later. Anyways, so once you observe it, you're gonna sling the bandolier. You can sling it around your neck or put your shoulder through it. This is how Corporal Richards is doing it right now. All right, once you do that, you're just gonna give the bag a little feel just to make sure components are there. It's just part of the steps. So once you do that, you're gonna get into your nice little prone fighting position. All right, once it's in the prone position, you're gonna open the bandolier, pull out your test kit and your trigger mech. So as you pull it out, on the test kit, you'll notice that there's a fat end and a skinnier end. The skinnier side is the female side. That's the side you'll be taking the dust cover off. Once you do that, you'll take off, notionally, if there's no cap on them, some of them are fucked up and don't have caps. Notionally, you take it off. Dust covers, connect it. Once it's all the way on there, you're gonna put it on fire. Hold it with your, doesn't matter which hand, but the other hand has to be covering the test kit. Once he squeezes, there should be a little light in there that you see. Some of them have it, some of them don't. And all you're gonna say is, I see the light.
I see the light.
So every time you say, I see the light, you're gonna place it back on safe. Every time you say, I see the light, you're gonna place it back on safe. All right, so he's putting it back in his bandolier while it's connected. So once it's do that, you're gonna pull out the spool. Once you pull out the spool, you're gonna go to the side that plugs into the testing kit. You're gonna pull out 1 meter. So all you're doing is holding the spool to your chest, reach out with one arm. That's 1 meter. All right, so once you do that, you're gonna tie it to your stake. All you're doing is overhand knot, you're twisting it through, twist it, pull through, secure it to the stake, and you're gonna hide your spool from the naked eye. So just hide it, put it on the sandbag. Once you do that, you're gonna pull out your test kit and your trigger mech connected. So once it's connected, you're gonna take off the dust cover on the male side of the test kit and on the spool. Once you do that, you're gonna connect it, make sure it's on there really good. Okay, so you're just gonna repeat the steps as you did earlier. Hold it with one hand, and the other hand's gonna be covering the test kit. Squeeze it. You should see a light. And if you do, if you don't, doesn't matter. But you're gonna say, I see the light, no matter what. So once he does that, what do you do when you say, I see the light? Takes it back on save. Okay, once it's back on save, this is when you unplug everything. As you unplug, you're putting the dust covers back on. Even if it does not have a dust cover, you will notionally say, putting dust cover back on.
That's when I'm putting dust cover back on.
Once everything goes back into the bag, all right, you'll remove your spool from underneath the sandbag or wherever you hit it. And this is where you will tactically move down to your fighting position. So all you're doing, you're getting a little, your chest is facing the enemy, one hand on the weapon, just move down. Once you get down here, you're gonna assume the prone. He's gonna place the spool down in arm's reach. Doesn't matter where you put it, honestly. So once he does that, you're gonna pull out the Claymore. So is everyone familiar with the acronym ATAR-C? All right, so ATAR-C is you're aiming, you're tying, you're arming, and you're re-aiming, and then you're camouflaging. All right, everyone got that? All right, so once he does that, so pulls out the Claymore to 45 degrees, places it in front of the sandbag with the front side toward the enemy. Make sure you're not facing it right at your face because you'll get automatic no-go. Once he does that, places it in the ground. What's the A? What's the first A? A. So, okay, so you can use your finger, you can use a marker, you can use a stick. Doesn't matter. Any of those methods work. So once he aims it, what's the T? So he's coming to his spool. He's gonna pull out the blasting cap side. Avoid touching the silver part at all costs. Does not matter if it drags on the ground. So he's pulling out a meter, hold it to your chest, arm's length. Once he does that, he's gonna tie it off to the stake. Same knot as you used on the other side. Once he does that, so it's tied off, so what's the next A? Arming, so he's arming the Claymore. So he's coming to the Claymore, untying the blasting plug, or plug on this side. So this side, okay, so this side is, gets a lot of people, well, it got me when I ran it through the first time. So this is safe, it's gonna be twisted in this way. So when you're arming it, everyone see that? So this is safe. So when you're arming it, it's gonna twist in this way, okay? And then later on, when you unarm it, it's gonna go back in this way. Does that make sense to everybody? Have any questions about that?
So when you're arming it, that little notch, it's going into the Claymore?
Because the blasting cap is gonna slide, it's going in the Claymore like this.
I see.
Okay. You guys got that? Okay. Good. So he's arming it, so he's placing the Claymore on fire, pretty much. So he's sliding the blasting cap in there, and he's gonna pull it all the way to where it cannot go anymore. Once he does that, he's gonna twist it back onto the Claymore. All right, so now the Claymore is armed. So what is the R? So he fucked with the Claymore. Re-aim, so now he's re-aiming it. So finger, marker, pen, stick, any of those methods work. So once he does that, what's the C? Camouflage. Camouflage. So you're notionally gonna be camouflaging this stuff so you guys don't rip out all our grass. So just camouflage. So you're gonna camouflage the Claymore once, and he's gonna move back down to his starting position. Once he gets down there, or you're gonna, on his way down, he's gonna camouflage the wire 2 times. So 1 time on the Claymore, 2 times on the wire. Okay? So notionally camouflage. Camouflage.
Same thing on test day?
Yep.
Like no camouflage.
Yep. So yeah, it's gonna be the same thing on test day, notionally camouflaging, because we love our grass and we love Hawaii. Anyway, so once he gets back here, he's gonna assume the prone position. He's gonna pull out the trigger mech. He's gonna remove the dust covers on the wire and the trigger mech.
Notionally removing.
So and then he's gonna connect them. All right, once he does that, he's gonna place it on fire. And you will say Claymore twice before pulling the trigger.
Claymore, Claymore.
And then once he does that, that is, the timer stops for the first part of the graded portion of Claymore. Any questions on the first part? Yeah, you guys are good? Yeah, you guys have 10 minutes to do this.
No more low crawling?
No. Yeah. Yeah, they did it, and we did it for validation. It was kind of fun. No, it wasn't. But they told us not to, so you guys got lucky. Anyways, okay, so the second part. So we're gonna start the second part. You have 5 minutes to uncover a unfired Claymore mine. So once the timer starts, the first thing you do is you're placing on safe. The first thing you do for the second part is you're placing on safe. So once you place it on safe, you are disconnecting the wire from the trigger mech and you're replacing your dust covers.
Notionally replacing dust covers.
Once he does that, he's gonna put it back in his bandolier. He's gonna untie the wire from the stake. Once that's untied, you're good on this side. So now he's gonna tactically move back down. All right, once he gets back down here, he's gonna untie the wire from the Claymore. All right, so once he removes that, he's gonna twist the plug back onto the Claymore with the safe side so the crease is facing out, how I showed you guys earlier. So once he does that, he's gonna untie it from the stake.
Does it matter which side you go into in the Claymore?
Preferably this side, because some of the Claymores don't have this side.
Same side
The stake is on it.
tied.
That makes sense.
So yeah, anyway, so once he does that, he's gonna roll up the blasting cap side first. Bear with us, these aren't the best spools in the world. All right, and then after he does that, he is gonna roll up the other side, one that he camouflaged earlier. All right, moving on. So once he rolls that up, he's gonna put that back in his bandolier, and then he's gonna come to the Claymore, close the legs, slide it back into the bandolier. Once the Claymore goes back into the bandolier, that's when your time stops. So, do I have any questions for the entirety of going?
What's the time on the part 2?
5 minutes. I did it in 2. It's doable. So, and I was just taking my time, walking myself through it. And then the first one I did like 7 minutes, so it's not too bad. You take your time, just make sure you don't miss steps. You should be fine. Any questions? Any more questions?
Is there a way that you recommend setting it up on the bandolier so it's easier?
No, they're all shitty.
Yeah. Just kind of fuck with it a little bit, you'll figure something out.
So do you mind saying the acronym one more time?
ATAR-C.
Yes, sir. ATARS.
Okay, so it's A,